everybody, it's Jen Beck. How are you? I want to talk with you for a few minutes today about your why. Now, whenever we make any kind of lifestyle changes, it's important to have a why. And the why has to be bigger than just, I want to lose 15 pounds so I can fit back in that dress that I love from last summer. It's got to be more than, I just want to feel better in my clothes, or I just want to look better, or if I lose weight, then I'll feel better about myself, right? We've got to find the reasons of really why we want to make changes, why we want to make lasting changes and lifelong changes. Because if we're only interested in making short-term changes, we won't keep it off. You'll be back in the same place, whether it be 2 months, 6 months, a year from now, 2 years from now. The time will come when you will revert back to your old ways. It's just naturally, we're just naturally wired that way. Our brain likes our comfort zone of where we're at right now, and it doesn't want to change. In the book Inner Sizes, John Assaraf literally talks about how our brain perceives any kind of new change as a threat. Not just a threat to our current state of status quo, but potentially a threat to our life. So our brain really wants to keep us exactly where we are. It wants to keep us safe, and it wants to keep us efficient. Change is neither one of those things. It takes a lot of effort to make lifelong changes, to make any change for that matter. And most people, when they go on a diet, overhaul everything at once instead of little bit by little bit. But really, going back to our why is by far the most critical thing in helping us to see it through to reaching our goals. You want to have a why that will make you cry. A why that is going to move you so much that nothing will stand in your way of success. For me, that was my mom's health. I remember standing in her apartment and watching her literally in one afternoon sort through every possession that she owned, deciding if it was going to go to Goodwill, to the garbage, to storage, or to the nursing home with her. And watching her at 49 years old have every ounce of her freedom stripped away, having to go through and make all of those decisions in that one afternoon, in my mind, in that moment, I made the decision, never will I go there. And that's what actually started me on the journey in health. I wanted to find something that would help her, but ultimately I wanted to find something that would help myself. And it's been a journey, don't get me wrong. When you go from eating, living on sugar and caffeine to eating organically 3 meals a day plus snacks and cooking all the time, like that is a far, far journey. But the great thing is that if I can do it, believe me, you can. I had sworn off cooking at 19, so I lived on lean cuisine, spaghetti, and fast food for meals. So for me to be able to get to where I'm at now, I just want you to know it's possible, but you have to find a reason why. You know, when I started this journey, it was because of my mom's health, because I was scared to go where she was going to go. And ultimately what's kept me going is my daughter now. And the life that I have and the community that I serve and the people that I love, those are the ones that keep me going on a health track every single day. Not to say I'm a purist, but the lion's share of what I consume is healthy and nourishing. And I'll indulge occasionally, but it's not the norm for me to eat a lot of sugar or alcohol or things like that. It's really a matter of how do I nourish my body so I feel my best so I can be at my best. But you've got to figure out your why in doing that. So you've got to incorporate other people in it. That's an absolute must. We will do more for other people than we will for ourselves. You've got to have some kind of an emotional charge. One of my clients that that has been one of my best case studies, or my star pupil, if you will. He came to me when he had twins that were 6 months old, and he was overweight. He had 100 pounds to lose and on multiple medications that he'd been on for over 10 years. And he goes, Jen, I'm scared I'm not going to see my kids graduate kindergarten. I'm motivated. I need to do this for me and for them. And in the first 3 months we worked together, he dropped 45 pounds. Said it was the easiest thing he's ever done because he was motivated to do it. And he was committed to doing it. And after that first 3 months, he went off and dropped another 65 pounds on his own. He eliminated all the need for his medications and kept it up for well over 2.5 years now. So it is possible to change our life, but we have to figure out why we want to do it. You know, the dress in the closet may not be it, but showing up our ex-husband or his new girlfriend might be a motivator for you in the short term, But in the long term, what do you really want to create in life? It can't be just about a short-term goal, about looking better or feeling better initially, because once we accomplish that, we go, whew, I can go back to what I was doing before. I can go back to what I was eating before. Awesome. It is awesome for a little while until we end up back in the same place, if not worse. So I really encourage you, make long-term choices, find some kind of an emotional charge around it. Really think about, what are the things that are important to me? How do I want to feel? What kind of life do I want to create? And go long-term. Don't just look at the next 6 months, don't look at the next year, but what do you want life to look like in the next 5 years, 10 years, 25 years? Because what we do today has an impact. Everything we stick in our mouth either becomes more disease or it becomes better health. It's a choice. That's it. But we've got to decide what we want to do. Okay? So it has to be something bigger than just, I want to fit in the next dress, or I just want to feel better, I want to have more energy, X, Y, or Z. Because if we haven't rewired the drivers behind what we're doing, we are very likely to get sucked back into our old default habits, because that's what we know and that's what our brain's comfortable with. Okay? And then the last thing I want to leave you with is, when you have your why, have a visual reminder for you. Put one on the pantry door, put one on your refrigerator, put it on your phone, put it on your bathroom mirror, and have it in front of you so that when you're looking at this throughout the day, it's a reminder of, like, here's why I'm making the changes. Here's why I'm changing my lifestyle. Here's what I'm creating. Here's what I'm passionate about. Here's what I'm excited about. Because if we go, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, that's what our results are going to show up as too. So we've got to be decisive about what we want to create. And I will tell you, for some people, this is really challenging because they've never spent time looking at this before. They say the average person spends more on their next birthday party or next vacation than they do planning the rest of their life. And our health is just one aspect of that, but if we don't have our health, we don't really have anything. There's a great quote that I love. It says, if you have your health, you have 1,000,000 dreams. If you don't have your health, you have one. Right? So decide what you want to create in life. Decide what your why is. What's going to get you up in the morning and start your day with a smoothie or with an exercise? What's going to keep you going throughout the day? What's going to, in that moment where you're like, oh, I'm so frustrated, or I'm so stressed, I'm just going to go eat something. What's going to get you to pause and take inventory and remember why you're making changes and choices, right? It's not about all or nothing, but we've got to keep our why in front of us so we're really crystal clear about the life that we're creating and why we're making the changes that we are. So if this was helpful, please let me know. Give it a little bit of love. Share it with a friend or family member that can use a little bit of inspiration. But create your why and share it with us. Share it with us in the comments below. And let us know what your why is. And we will look forward to celebrating your success coming this year.